Have you ever taken a moment to reflect on how some people, regardless of their age or appearance, manage to create a kind of gravitational center in any environment they enter? They are not always the most talkative or the ones wearing the most ostentatious outfits, yet they exude a silent strength, an aura that is hard to put into words. Their presence sparks a deep desire in others to approach them, to stay by their side, to capture their attention. This effect is neither a product of chance nor a whim of fate. In reality, it stems from a profound inner work, woven thread by thread over the years, transforming their existence into an unconscious field of attraction. For true allure does not lie in aesthetic perfection or external adornments. True attraction arises from a deeper energy, from the way you move through the world, from the serenity that permeates your gestures, from the unshakable confidence you radiate when you express yourself. There is no cosmetic product, no designer clothing that can rival the authenticity that bursts forth from a person who knows and respects themselves. In this video, I will share with you the 6 fundamental steps that transform any person into a profoundly captivating presence. I invite you to integrate these steps into your life and observe the changes that unfold. You will see how the way others look at you deepens. You will notice that the attention they give you becomes more lasting, almost inevitable. And pay close attention until the end, because the 6th step is undoubtedly the most powerful, the most profound, the very key capable of radically transforming all the dynamics around you as soon as you incorporate it into your life. So, what makes a person truly unforgettable? Many of us believe that attraction is based solely on fleeting elements like youth or physical beauty, but the truth is far deeper. A person who has delved into the depths of their identity and fully embraced themselves can be infinitely more fascinating than an inexperienced youth at the beginning of their journey. Because this person does not need external validation. Their worth is anchored within themselves. The calm certainty reflected in their gaze, their upright stance in the face of life, is intensely magnetic. Thanks to the experiences they have lived through, their intuition has sharpened. They know what they deserve and what they must refuse. This wisdom makes them naturally selective and emotionally free. They do not offer their essence lightly, and it is precisely for this reason that they create an aura of mystery that does not fade at the first encounter. They understand better than anyone that true interest does not stem from fleeting whims, but from curiosity and depth. And that is where the essence of their power lies. People do not chase only attractive faces. Sometimes, without even realizing it, they seek that energy that transforms an ordinary moment into an unforgettable memory. Take a moment to think about it. What sets apart those people who, without being the most popular or perfect, dominate a space by their mere presence? It is not just their appearance. It is the invisible force they radiate, their way of existing with assurance, their silent body language that is both welcoming and enchanting. When a person manages to embody this energy in their being, their entire surroundings respond to it. Others feel an almost instinctive need to approach them. They do not need to compete or make efforts. Their mere existence radiates a subtle force that acts without words. And what is most enlightening is understanding that this power does not appear by chance, nor is it reserved for those with certain genetic traits. This power is, in reality, the fruit of specific inner behaviors that anyone with the right will can adopt and perfect. Now that you hold the knowledge of this magnetism you can develop, I invite you to discover the first step that will revolutionize the way people perceive you. And I assure you that if you begin to apply this step consciously from today, you will notice surprising changes in the dynamics around you. The first step is to embrace your shadow. Did you know that long before someone notices your hairstyle, your clothes, or the slightest detail of your face, they perceive, almost entirely unconsciously, your level of self-confidence? There is no adornment more seductive than the confidence a person has in themselves. This confidence manifests in every step, in the harmony of your words, in the way you hold a gaze with determination. A confident person does not beg for attention. Their presence naturally makes itself felt. They do not ask for permission to shine. Their energy simply illuminates the space they occupy. Take a moment and imagine. You enter a room full of people and observe two individuals. The first perhaps perfectly fits conventional beauty standards, but their slouched posture, fleeting glances, and hesitant demeanor send signals of insecurity. The second, perhaps, does not conform as much to these standards, but they walk with their head held high, their posture reflecting unshakable faith. Which one do you think everyone will remember? Self-confidence is a magnet so powerful that it can eclipse any physical characteristic. And what is even more fascinating is that this confidence is not innate. It can be cultivated, developed, and strengthened until it becomes your most valuable ally. Psychological science confirms this unequivocally. Jung's shadow archetype represents the aspects of our personality that we reject, repress, or label as dark. Irresistible people, instead of rejecting this shadow, seek to understand and integrate it. For they know that true strength does not lie in the illusion of perfection, but in integrity. When you accept your strengths as well as your weaknesses, your light as well as your darkness, you no longer need to wear a mask of artificial confidence. This radiates a silent but powerful message. I know who I am, I know what is valuable, and I don't need anyone's approval to feel complete. People don't just notice this energy, they feel it deeply and almost instinctively want to be part of this integrity. How can you integrate this power into your daily life? Start by correcting your posture. Always walk with your back straight and with assurance. Remember that your body speaks before your words. If you slouch or avert your gaze, you project insecurity. Conversely, if you walk with determination and an open posture, you convey authority and confidence. Speak slowly, clearly, and calmly in conversations. Don't feel the need to fill silences with rushed sentences. A confident person knows their voice deserves to be heard and does not rush. And, more fundamentally, don't be afraid to take up space. Your presence has value. In every room you enter, in every conversation you engage in, allow yourself to shine. Remember, the way you present yourself to the world determines how the world responds to you. Now prepare to discover the next step, which will strengthen your field of attraction in a way that few people master with brilliance. The second step is to stay centered in yourself. Human desire flourishes in the fertile ground of uncertainty. Have you ever noticed that when someone stops being constantly available to you, they suddenly start seeking you out with more insistence? This is not a coincidence. It is the natural functioning of human psychology. A person who understands their own worth does not beg for attention. They do not chase after anyone. On the contrary, they inspire others to come to them. A truly captivating person knows that their value is not measured by how quickly they respond to a message or how often they call someone. They are aware that their time and energy are treasures, not commodities available at all times. And it is precisely this perception of their own worth that changes the entire dynamic of interactions. Why is this principle so effective? Because we humans tend to value more what we risk losing. When someone is certain they have you, regardless of your behavior, their level of effort diminishes. But when they perceive they must make an effort to hold your attention, their interest intensifies. Think of a moment in your life. Do you remember a time when, by being less available, someone suddenly started showing you more interest, displaying a sincere curiosity that seemed absent before? This reaction is not random. It is a natural response to the perception of value and scarcity. Attraction feeds on mystery, challenge, and the sense of conquest. And in this subtle game, the person who does not cling, who maintains a full and vibrant life, dominates the playing field. They are not the one chasing, but the one inspiring the desire to be reached. How can you apply this principle in daily life? Start by not being constantly available. If someone feels they can have you at any moment, their motivation fades. Let them wonder what you're doing. Think about your activities. Make an effort to reach you. Continue to nurture your own life. Develop your passions. Spend enjoyable time with your friends. Pursue your dreams. Don't focus your emotions and time on waiting for messages or signs of interest from others. Learn to enjoy your own company. A person who can savor their solitude radiates an irresistible independence. This is not coldness or indifference. It is self-love in action. It is understanding that you deserve to be chosen, not begged for. And this realization transforms you into a magnetic force in the eyes of others. Stay with me, because in the next step, we will explore a fundamental element that strengthens authentic attraction. A form of personal expression that reveals your inner power without words. The third step is to transcend your persona. Many people fall into the mistake of believing they must follow the latest trends, invest in expensive clothing, or conform to beauty standards that often don't even reflect their essence to be irresistible. But the reality is quite different. What truly sets you apart is not what you wear, but how you wear it. The way your style becomes a living manifestation of your authenticity and inner confidence. According to Jung, the persona is the mask we show to the world. A captivating person is aware of this mask, but does not become its slave. Their style is not about following fashion, but about sincerely reflecting their inner world. A person with a unique and well-defined style radiates confidence, conveys personal power, and does not go unnoticed. Instead of following fleeting trends, they consciously choose what makes them feel authentic, strong, and radiant. A person with style leaves an impression because their outward appearance is not a costume, but a faithful reflection of their inner energy. Every carefully chosen piece, every color, every detail sends a clear and silent message. I know who I am, and I celebrate it with every step. The impact of your style on your field of attraction is profound and transformative. Think for a moment. When someone enters a room with confident steps, sporting an aesthetic in harmony with their personality, they immediately draw your attention. Not because they perfectly meet an imposed standard, but because they radiate security and authenticity. Remember, it's not about imitating someone else. It's about discovering, polishing, and strengthening what makes you unique. It's an act of self-approval and authenticity. How can you build a style that makes you unforgettable? Start by choosing clothes that highlight your best features. Understand that not every garment suits every body. Take the time to know yourself, to discover which cuts, textures, and shapes enhance your body with elegance and sophistication. Colors are your silent but powerful allies. Each shade conveys a specific energy that can reveal different facets of your personality. Red evokes passion and determination. Black, mystery and elegance. White, purity and serenity. Navy blue, intelligence and reliability. Earthy tones, warmth and sincerity. Your hair and makeup play a crucial role in enhancing your essence. But it's not about hiding, but about highlighting your natural beauty. You don't need layers of makeup or complex hairstyles to be magnetic. The key is to emphasize your authentic features with subtlety and precision. And never underestimate the power of a fragrance. The sense of smell is closely tied to memory and emotions. A distinctive scent can make someone think of you even when you're no longer there. Find a fragrance that reflects your essence. Your personal scent will become your invisible signature, your lasting memory. Remember, it's not about beauty, but about presence. A person who masters their style, who consciously chooses how to present themselves to the world, projects a magnetic energy that is impossible to ignore. We will now move toward another fundamental step, one that the most magnetic people understand and apply almost instinctively. The fourth step is the power of meaningful silence. A captivating presence is not about constantly talking or making noise. On the contrary, it often begins where words end. The true impact lies in what you don't say, in the spaces you leave, and in the way you listen. This is not weakness or passivity. It is, on the contrary, a sign of deep self-confidence and inner serenity. It is the ability to attract without chasing, to receive without demanding, to inspire without dominating. It is a silent certainty that what you desire will come to you without needing to force it. It is the peace of knowing that your worth rests on the deep connection you have with yourself, not on external validation. A person who masters this energy becomes a natural magnet. Others feel the need to approach them, to know them, to earn their attention. Unfortunately, many people fall into the trap of believing they must talk incessantly, constantly take the initiative, or fill every silence to be attractive. Without realizing it, they eliminate the possibility of being pursued. When a person imposes their presence or seeks to control everything, they leave no room for curiosity, surprise, or mystery, which are the fundamental elements of the dance of attraction. In contrast, a person who balances their inner energy creates a graceful, profound, and almost hypnotic field of attraction. They are the one remembered long after they've left the room. A study from the University of California revealed that people find those with relaxed, slow, and receptive body language more attractive. The reason is that these individuals project, without forcing, confidence, authenticity, and inner serenity. And that is where the great difference lies. It's not about trying to draw attention, but about allowing desire to emerge spontaneously. How can you apply this powerful energy in your daily life? First, learn to fully live in the present moment and savor it. Many people, without even realizing it, sabotage promising connections by letting themselves be consumed by anxiety about the future. Will they call me tomorrow? Do they want something serious? What if I never hear from them again? These thoughts swirl in their minds and fuel a restlessness that, though silent, is clearly perceived by the other. This constant expectation energy stifles spontaneity and exerts a pressure that inevitably pushes others away. In contrast, a truly magnetic person understands that their power lies in their ability to be fully present in the moment. If someone wants to be with them, they welcome it with joy. If not, they continue on their path without letting it disturb their inner peace. Their energy does not fluctuate based on the rhythm of others' attention. Because their well-being does not depend on external factors, they are, above all, their own source of fulfillment. Next, master the art of soft and slow communication. The way you communicate, the tone of your voice, the rhythm of your words are silent but incredibly powerful tools of attraction. Speaking more slowly, consciously, and intentionally not only projects confidence, but also creates an irresistible aura of mystery and anticipation. Add conscious pauses to your conversations. Let silence speak for you at certain moments. Don't feel the need to respond immediately or fill every gap with rushed words. A slow, calm tone of voice conveys magnetic confidence. Avoid aggressive, curt, or overly rapid tones that disrupt the emotional harmony of the exchange. For example, when someone asks you a question in a conversation, don't rush to answer. Pause briefly. Offer a slight smile, take a breath, and then respond calmly. This seemingly insignificant pause creates a space of curiosity that captures the other's attention in a subtle but profound way. Remember, true attraction depends not only on what you express, but also on how you express it. Magnetism lies in the energy you transmit from one word to the next. The fifth step is to speak the language of symbols. A captivating person understands that a true conversation goes beyond superficial words. It's not about talking incessantly or trying to impress with endless stories or personal achievements. A seductive conversation is rather a delicate tapestry woven from curiosity, mystery, and sincere interest. How is this achieved? By speaking less but saying more, by using silence as a powerful resource, by creating spaces where an emotional connection can arise spontaneously, by evoking an aura of depth that invites others to explore further, to intuitively sense an inner world they don't yet fully know. One of the most common mistakes is trying to fill every silence with unnecessary words or talking excessively about oneself in an attempt to draw attention. But the true secret of the art of verbal seduction lies in knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, in creating a rhythm that sparks curiosity rather than saturation. The secret of those who captivate with their voice lies not in the quantity of words, but in the energy they infuse into every gesture, every pause, every glance. Psychological studies have shown that nearly 80% of the effectiveness of communication in human attraction comes from nonverbal factors. In other words, it's not what you say, but how you convey it that matters. Tone, gaze, subtle gestures, posture, all these are communication tools. The most magnetic people intuitively master this truth. They don't try to impress with detailed speeches. Instead, they create emotional tension, mystery, and curiosity through their nonverbal language and the enveloping rhythm of their communication. How can you apply this key in your interactions? First, learn to use eye contact consciously and powerfully. A gaze, when used correctly, can say more than 1,000 words. Don't avoid eye contact. On the contrary, hold your gaze a few seconds longer than usual to establish an invisible but intense connection. Play with the intensity of your eyes. Hold a deep gaze for a few seconds, offer a slight smile, then slowly look away. This simple but powerful gesture creates an immediate attraction effect and sparks in the other a desire for connection and closeness. Next, develop the art of preserving mystery. Don't reveal everything about yourself at the first meeting. Mystery is one of the fundamental pillars of authentic attraction. Yet many people, out of excitement or nervousness, feel the need to share their entire life in a single conversation, leaving little room for imagination. While this impulse is sincere, it breaks the captivating tension that sustains natural interest. The most seductive strategy is to give short answers, to leave doors slightly ajar to spark curiosity. Use phrases like, "That's a fascinating story. I'll tell you about it another time." To pique interest, don't be afraid to save details for future encounters. Remember, in attraction, what you withhold can be as powerful as what you choose to share. Finally, master the art of asking interesting questions. The most memorable conversations don't revolve around yourself, but around a sincere curiosity for the other. Instead of monopolizing the dialogue or falling into one-word responses, become an explorer of your interlocutor's soul. Ask questions that stimulate the imagination and allow for deep, meaningful conversations. If you could live in any era of history, which would you choose? What would you do if failure weren't an option? If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, which would you pick? These questions not only make the other person feel valued and understood, but also create an emotional connection far deeper than any monologue about your own experiences. Remember, a person who masters the art of conversation doesn't try to impress, but to connect. They use eye contact with intention, play with silences like the notes of a melody, and ask questions that awaken genuine interest. They always maintain a veil of mystery. And now, prepare to take your magnetism to the next level with the final step. The 6th step is to live your own myth. A person who owns their life, who nurtures their own interests, and who moves through the world with purpose is magnetic, mysterious, and unforgettable. The most common mistake many make is letting their existence revolve solely around a relationship, but true attraction flourishes when you are complete in yourself. When your life, with or without a partner, is already fascinating in itself. Why? Because a person does not desire to be the absolute center of your universe. They aspire to be part of an already vibrant, passionate, and lively universe. Independent people don't desperately wait to be saved or completed. They don't live waiting for every message or gesture of approval. They have passions, dreams, and a rich existence that moves forward without needing external validation. The most irresistible people are not those who desperately try to please. They are those whose lives are so interesting, so full of purpose and enthusiasm that others almost instinctively want to be part of them. People find irresistible a person who radiates security, integrity, and zest for life. Because this energy doesn't just attract, it inspires and evokes deep admiration. How can you integrate this behavior into your daily life? First, define a purpose that transcends any romantic relationship and nurture it. Your existence should never depend on another person. Discover what sets your soul on fire. It could be a project, a venture, an art, a sport, a personal goal. Choose something that deeply inspires you and work on it with passion. When you have a clear purpose, your energy instantly changes. It becomes magnetic, radiant, and contagious. Next, choose wisely the people who make up your close circle. The people you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your self-esteem and emotional energy. Avoid toxic relationships that sow drama, negativity, and limitations. Surround yourself with strong individuals who inspire you, lift you up, and push you to constantly grow. A healthy environment naturally amplifies your attractiveness and confidence. Finally, commit to continuous personal growth. A person who evolves, learns, and renews themselves every day becomes a magnetic and inexhaustible presence. Read books that challenge you, travel, discover new skills, enroll in courses, explore new passions. Never let routine or complacency hinder your expansion. Investing in yourself is the most powerful strategy to remain vibrant, interesting, and fully confident. Living your own myth is about becoming the hero of your story. It's not about chasing grand adventures, but about finding meaning in your path, no matter what. And that, dear friend, is the most seductive energy you can project. True attraction has no direct link to age or conventional beauty standards. It stems from the energy you project into the world, from the invisible mark you leave in the hearts of those around you. If you've made it this far, you now have a deeper understanding. The most powerful beauty lies not in the symmetry of your features or in fleeting youth, but in unshakable confidence, vibrant independence, and the unique energy you radiate through every gesture, every word. When people remember those who marked their lives, they don't necessarily recall the physically perfect. They remember those who made them feel something special. Those who stood out not by their appearance, but by the unique essence they conveyed. What etches your presence into the minds and hearts of others is that authentic vibration, that inimitable spark. If you begin to integrate these 6 steps into your daily life, I guarantee you will observe extraordinary transformations. You will notice that others' gazes linger on you more deeply. You will feel a significant increase in your inner confidence, a confidence that doesn't depend on external factors but stems from your own self-knowledge and self-acceptance. You will project a magnetic energy that attracts opportunities, not only in your personal life but also in your professional and social spheres and wherever your presence is needed. Because true attraction, the kind that transforms, is not a product of chance. It is the direct result of conscious behaviors and intentionally chosen habits. Now, I'd love to hear your perspective. Which of these steps already feels like an integral part of your essence? Which one do you think you need to work on more to perfect it? I invite you to share your response in the comments. I love reading your reflections and discovering the conscious evolution you're building through your words. If these ideas have brought you something, don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. For more content this profound, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be alerted when I post a new video. This way, you'll become an active member of this community determined to strengthen its energy and transform its life from the inside out. If you know a friend who could benefit from these transformative secrets, don't hesitate to share this video with them. It could be the push they need to rediscover all the power they carry within. We'll meet again very soon in the next video. Until then, keep shining with the strength of someone who knows their light is unquenchable. Goodbye.